Hey, this is Mark Moore, aka Tuxedo Mark, at various places on the internet. It's 12:15 p.m. according to a computer clock on Tuesday, October 27, 2015. And I'm going to be talking about seeing the Back to the Future trilogy on the big screen. Um, Here's my ticket. It says Future. See, Wednesday, October 21st, 2015. It's for 5 p.m. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Hang on. Okay. Alright. And let's see, I got this win free movies thing. Yeah, whatever. I also got this. At first I thought it was going to be something that ties into the films, like for the event or something, but it's just some stupid advertisement for a home security system or some crap. I don't know. But anyway. So, this was my first time seeing the Back to the Future trilogy, or any of the films at all, on the big screen. I've never seen them in the theater. I'm thoroughly familiar with the films because I've watched them, from TV recordings and stuff, so many times, and but I haven't seen the films in a long time. I last saw part 1 in late 2005 or early 2006 when I was in Illinois. I saw it on TV. Parts 2 and 3 I saw before that sometime. Who knows when. Mostly I watched these on TV. I had a partial recording of part 1, as well as, full recordings of parts 2 and 3 off TV. Interesting story, I guess. There is a Looney Tunes short that I record from the Bugs Bunny and Tweety show on Saturday mornings. It's the one where Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck burrow into some cave or whatever in Saudi Arabia, and they find a bunch of treasure, and they also find a magic lamp with a genie inside. And I had that recorded on my VHS tape before my recording of Back to the Future Part 2. So I kind of consider them connected in a way. Yeah, well, anyway, so I remember renting part 2 from the local gas station, local Circle K, probably before part 3 came out, I think. So I have seen that uncut. I think I might have seen part 1 uncut. Maybe I had rented it sometime. I don't remember. I think I remember seeing it uncut, but what else? Part 3 I saw uncut on a screening cassette that my friend Mike had. He had it. He had gotten it from the flea market or whatever. So he put it on one time when I was over at his house. Yeah, but other than those vague memories, I haven't seen these movies in a long time. So I figured for future day, sure, I'll go and see them all at once. The only previews were like for other special events, like live events and stuff like that. And then the first movie started. And I stayed through the closing credits for all three films. I wanted to see everything on the big screen. After the first movie, the screen went blank, and some kind of Regal Cinema radio thing came on that played snippets of songs that are currently out or whatever, just advertising various music artists. And this was an intermission, and we didn't know how long that the intermissions would be because no one told us anything. Eventually a girl came in the theater and she said she had the option of starting the next film right away instead of at the appointed time, whenever that was, if everyone was ready. But even once everyone was willing for it to be started earlier, it still took a while for part 2 to get started. And same thing with part 3. Same situation happened again. There were about 6 other people in the theater with me, I think. It wasn't a huge crowd or anything, but at least there were other people there. Let's see, by the time that I got out to my car, it was 11:24 p.m., so yeah, there was quite a bit of intermission time between each of the parts. There were quite a few moments where, you know, the audience laughed and they enjoyed themselves. A lot of the laughs came during part 2, during the 2015 scenes. By the way, no one cheered or applauded or anything when Doc mentioned the date, but there were lots of times when... Oh, hi, Kichu. Kichu's here. You want to stay in my lap, Kichu? I love when Kichu purrs. There were lots of times when, whenever any kind of futuristic tech, like anything ridiculous was mentioned, the audience would laugh. And even in part 3 when Marty explains to 1955 Doc, yeah, well, you had a hover conversion done in the early 21st century, that got laughed too. Yeah, overall, we all enjoyed ourselves. I don't think, not everyone stuck around. I think after part 2, at least 2 people left, but most of us stayed till the end. Well, I stayed till the very end. After the closing credits of part 3, I think I was the only one that did that. Everyone else pretty much got up and left when the part 3 credits came on. Oh, I love you, Kichi. Let's see. Oh, during part 3, there were moments where I thought that the movie was censored. I thought, like, when after Marty throws the pie plate at Buford and he says, "Hey, line up, jerk," his mouth didn't look like he was saying jerk. It looked off. And I thought I had remembered watching a home video version back in the day, possibly that screening cassette that Mike had, where he cursed. But no one else remembers that. No one else seems to have a version where he curses. Also later on, after when Marty's playing, you know, cowboy in the mirror, he's doing like Dirty Harry or whatever. And he says, "Go ahead and make my day." It immediately cuts to the next scene, but I seem to remember, it might be a false memory, of his pants falling down and you saw his butt. Kind of like as a gag to end the scene with, because otherwise the scene just ends and there's not much point to it. In fact, when I asked Mike about it earlier today, and I said that immediately cut to the next scene, and he's like, "Yeah, originally his pants fell down," or something like that. And but then he even started downing it when he saw like an animated GIF of the scene in question, and I thought I remembered seeing it, like Marty's pants fell down and you saw his butt, like maybe it was a different angle or something. And even on IMDb, when I asked about it, one person seems to remember it, but maybe that wasn't in the movie itself. Maybe it was an outtake, or maybe we were both remembering some other film. And even another person said, maybe there exists an alternate version, like as an outtake or deleted scene or whatever. But they say it was never in the film itself, even though I thought it was. It's weird that regarding the jerk thing, even Mike and another guy both said that Marty's mouth looked weird when he said that, which is what I thought too when I saw it in the theater. The guy on IMDb said that maybe they had to do some ADR and loop it or whatever, and that's why it looks weird, but I don't know. But overall, I really enjoyed seeing the trilogy on the big screen. Obviously, I hadn't seen these movies in years, but I was so familiar with them from back in the day that when I was watching them, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. That was pretty much my experience. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. It's weird to know what you're in for, and I wasn't really surprised by what I saw because I knew how it was going to turn out. I was so familiar with it, even though I hadn't seen it in a long time. So that was kind of strange in its own way that, you would think, I haven't seen this in 10 years or more. I would be so blown away by it, but I'm like, it was like, nah, welcome back. Yeah. What else can I say about this? I'm not going to discuss the films themselves because you could pull apart the time travel and all that stuff. You can discuss that at length, and just watch like the CinemaSins reviews of or the Everything Wrong with Back to the Future and Everything Wrong with Back to the Future Part 2 from CinemaSins. That's, and I'm sure that they'll do Part 3 eventually. It's like, yeah, you could go at length discussing all of the plot holes of the films, but whatever. I enjoyed them, and I was kind of... The only thing that I was surprised at was some of the cursing, even though I don't... Well, surprise might not be the right term, but because I knew there was cursing in the film. I knew that the TV version censored cursing, and I probably did see Part 1 uncensored at one point. Part 2, I must have, because we had rented it, but I'm so used to TV versions like, Son of a Butthead, Snot-Nosed Brat, Jeez Louise, stuff like that. Um, but, or like when Biff is driving away from the school dance and he picks up the almanac and follows along with the radio to look up the sports results. Like in the TV version, it's all right, but obviously he cursed in the theatrical version. Or like the marshals in part 3 saying, "Get him out of that stuff," in the TV version. That's why I thought when Marty said jerk in the theatrical version that I saw yesterday that I was sure that it was censored. For whatever reason. It doesn't make any sense, but anyway, anything else to say about this? I don't think so. I think it's just, it was great to see them again and on the big screen. And in widescreen. So, yeah, that's about it. I haven't seen Gem yet. I'll see that tomorrow. I thought I had Sunday off, but I didn't, so I'll have to see it on Wednesday. And, it'll be like the, 4th movie within a week that I've seen that has something to do with 1985. Weird. But anyway, yeah, it's 12:32 p.m. and that's it. Thanks for watching. Oh, and I think I like Claudia Wells better than Elizabeth Shue as Jennifer. So anyway.